All right, well, good afternoon, Club 17, and welcome to another segment of Rotarian Spotlight. And as I mentioned before, I thought it'd be kind of fun to interview various Rotarians and get to know each one of them in a little bit different way, and make it a little bit of fun along the way as well, as we're unable to meet until we get back in the Hall of Mirrors, hopefully very soon. But today I have the great pleasure of having Melinda Kelly be our guest today. And she is our president nominee. And she will become the president-elect in July when Brett LeBar takes over for me. So thanks for being with us today, Melinda.
Thank you, President Dave.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to Melinda. I think I've known you for right around 4 years, I think, at this point in time. And we spent the last couple of years on the board together. And first of all, I'd like to publicly thank you for everything that you've done this year. And most of it's been behind the scenes, but you've done a tremendous amount of work to really make this year be extremely smooth. Until now, of course, until this COVID crisis has struck. But thank you so much for all you've done.
You're welcome. Thank you, President Dave.
Well, tell me a little bit about yourself, Melinda. Tell me a little bit about maybe your family, your career, maybe some of your hobbies and interests, maybe even your favorite food.
Okay, well, I was born in South Carolina, not too far from Charleston, in a small town called Holly Hill. My father was an electrician and a pastor after having served in the military. And my mother was mostly just supportive of him, and she managed the cafeteria services for one of the schools in the district. I have two sisters and one brother. They are all older. I'm the youngest. And I met my husband through a blind date of my aunt. One of my aunts introduced me to Mike, after which time we have one son, Mike Jr., and he lives in Minneapolis, works for Target headquarters there, and is enjoying it. And I also have a bonus son that my husband had prior to us getting married, so we have two. Educationally, I went to an HBCU in South Carolina. Got my undergraduate degree in counselor education, and got my terminal degree, my doctorate in education, from South Carolina State University. With my last hours I completed at, we moved here, my husband's job transferred us, so my last hours I took actually at the University of Cincinnati. I did my doctoral research on students from the intermediate and middle school of Mason. At the time, the superintendent, Kevin Bright, gave me the authorization. He authorized that I would be able to do my research there. So that was good, and I was able to finish up once we moved here.
Well, I think we're pretty fortunate that Mike's job got transferred, at least Club 17 is anyway.
Well, we're fortunate to be here. We're very thankful. We actually didn't plan to be here more than 5 years, and now it's been 22, so.
That's funny.
So it's been a blessing for us.
Well, tell me a little bit about what you've been doing during this COVID crisis. I know you've been really busy with work, and tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, we've gotten in our business, Right Path Enterprises, we do a lot of coaching, strategic planning, counseling, culture transformation, but we've been called on to do some other things, pulling back out of our old resources and previous experience. So we've been doing more writing, more handbooks, editing, rewrites, and things of that nature. Also, though, during this time, we've been able to do some additional yard work and some walking in the neighborhood and in the parks too. So we've been keeping ourselves pretty busy, trying to balance things out.
Well, there's plenty to do these days with extra work and everything going on with this crisis. But tell me a little bit about your Rotary experience. I know you joined our club in 2016, but you've had a lot more experience in Rotary beyond our club.
Right. I supported Mike for the first 15 years. And during that time, I was able to see Rotary, what Rotary really stands for, and see it actually in operation, from the events that we participated in, for the experiences and people that we've met through the years. It's just been a wonderful experience. So after having been a part of being the support person, I decided to join when he was district governor to actually, I didn't intend to actually be at the Cincinnati Club this long. I thought I'd just check it out. And then actually Club 17 feels like home to me, and I look so forward to it. I joined because of through the years of learning about Rotary and the causes, you know, promoting peace, fighting disease, clean water, supporting education and all. And with the new initiative, looking at the environmentally sustainable action group that they have, that the Rotary International will also support in grants for upcoming. That was also, it's also exciting to see that. So I joined because of what I knew about Rotary through the years, actually seeing it in operation, and I remain a member because Club 17 is like home now. I just enjoy it, ride every week, typically before this pandemic. Just look forward to every Thursday driving downtown to the meetings.
Well, we're not going to let you leave, so just
I
want you
don't
to know
plan
that.
to. I've been trying to recruit Mike with me.
You know, as we maneuver through this pandemic crisis that we're all experiencing at this point in time, what are some things do you think that our club can do, both internally and externally, to be successful?
Well, I think that we've already embarked on some of that. I think our service that we're doing above self with the giving back to the St. Vincent de Paul for the homeless, given the contribution there, really actually putting the service above self into action. Also with the Rotary Foundation and what they're doing, what we are doing with the Rotary Foundation, and also with the essential workers at the YMCA and providing food for the employees whose children are at the YMCA so that they can have dinners when they're off from work, for those essential workers. I think those are real key areas, and I like the fact that we're doing that not as a whole, but we will be reevaluating where we are to see what other areas in which we can be of assistance during this time to help those who are actually out on the front lines.
Very good. There's a lot that we can do without a doubt, and there's you know, so much power that our club does have that we can make such a great impact on a local and international level.
Right, and I think we should just stay focused, and also internally to keep our connectivity together between our groups. We have different, you know, the chairpersons for our committees, directors, to make sure that we stay in touch with each other, to keep our bond going, to see if there are any needs internally. I think that's important for us to do that as well, to keep our relationships positive and keep our club strong.
No doubt about it. We need to keep everybody in the fold and engaged and eager to get back.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about, as I mentioned, you're going to be becoming president in July of 2021, and believe me, it will come very quickly. But tell me what it's like to be the president nominee and soon to be the president-elect.
Well, it's pretty exciting. It's amazing how many Rotarians have come alongside and sent me text messages, calls, notes to say that they would be there. It's our club. That's just one position as the president, as you know, but it takes all of us working together in the collaboration piece. It's really exciting. It's an area I didn't know that I would be in this position at this time, but whenever I'm called to do something, I feel that I'm always equipped to do what I'm called to do, but not alone. So we work better together. So it's an exciting time, and I'm looking forward to it. But the most essential part of the Rotary Club is each individual member. And that's what we'll focus on. Not about me in the position. It's about Rotary moving forward, continuing with our values of service, fellowship, diversity, integrity, and leadership, and all coming together for the greater cause in the community. And I have right here, I'm getting my baskets ready for Believe to Achieve. So I'm really excited about being president nominee and to be president-elect, and look forward to working together with fellow Rotarians. It will be a joint effort for sure.
Well, I think that covers everything I wanted to cover. I want to thank you again so much for everything you've done to make this year so seamless, and you've been a huge help to me. And I think for the rest of the club, I think there's no doubt about it that starting with July 2021, that we're going to have another great president taking over at that point in time. So thanks so much for everything you have done and everything you've stepped up to do in the future.
Thank you. Thank you, President Dave.
Take care. Thank you.
All right, you too.